You had a young boy going to a school, and this boy was being bullied by a bunch of white supremacist kids. Because, yes, they teach their children to have anti-black racism. I want you to hear, what the mom had to say. Let's go ahead and roll that.
That's been going on for 16 weeks. I couldn't believe it.
She says she pulled him out of the school last Friday after speaking with school administration.
My son finally collapsed and broke over this. He said, "I thought I could handle it. I thought it would stop if I stayed quiet, and it didn't stop, and I cannot take it anymore."
She noticed a change in his behavior when she'd drop him off at school.
He would be in his room with the room blacked out. He didn't want to interact with his younger brother much. I could not figure out what it was.
A viral video of his aunt describing what the 8th grader was going through has captured the attention of thousands.
Every day he goes to school, there are students that yell racial slurs at him.
We see so many students that don't report, and they either consider some other method to relieve themselves of this. And I'm so happy that my son spoke up.
Today, the principal sent this letter to Pizitz Middle School parents addressing the issue, but not mentioning any specific student. She says unacceptable behavior is addressed and staff follows the code of conduct. She assures parents they also take a thorough approach to discipline with consequence and teaching, saying she believes students need both.
I think for so long we go on and we stay quiet, or we think that an apology is enough, when what we really need from school systems like Vestavia is real and immediate change. And I knew that that would not happen if I left my son there.
Mary Beth says other parents of color have reached out in solidarity with her and her son. She says he's at his new school in Hoover today, happy to start a new chapter.
Moving forward, we have to heal at this point, and my goal is to make sure that students are not victims of this type of hate speech.
See, stories like that is why I have worked very, very hard, ladies and gentlemen, to not allow my 8-year-old to be in any school where the white supremacists are controlling and running. I will work and work and work to pay whatever I have to pay to keep my child away so she can learn in an environment where she don't have to worry about the color of her skin. Now, children are children, they do what they do, but I can deal with what children do on that, but definitely just no. Because I was like, if it's not homeschool, it's gonna be a school that's ran by black people. And I mean that when it comes to my child. I refuse for my child to be coming home like what you saw in that video. I refuse. I refuse for my child to be called monkey and all this other stuff and start messing with her self-esteem and getting her depressed behind what these little white supremacist hellions at this school. No. And then on top of that, the administrators don't do nothing about it. No, I refuse to. I refuse. That's why, like I told my, little girl, like we having conversations, say, hey, we ever move? You say to, an African country, you say, I be putting the schools over there. I say, yeah, of course. But see, she's already socialized to be in school with black people. She's already socialized for that. So it wouldn't be no change. You know what I'm saying? Because, my little girl, she loves it over there. I'm telling you, she loves it. When she went to Kenya, she said, oh, Daddy, I can stay here. I love it over here. And I was so proud to hear my little 8-year-old girl say that when she went to Kenya. Oh, I was happy to hear that. But because our children need to have that kind of experience. But if you living in America in an anti-black, racism system, unfortunately, we send our children to school to deal with this. Unfortunately, we send them. Because if they don't treat you right, why are they going to educate you? It doesn't make sense. We complain about racism, but we send our children to school for them to educate our children instead of creating our own schools or having something going on for ourselves. And we should be putting together in every city, I'm talking about the people on themselves, to create our own schools for our children to have a safe space to learn. Black children in the public school system here, ran by them folks, is not a safe place of learning. Why do you think they could have their schools are called school to prison pipeline? Because they running it. They criminalize black children on top of psychologically abused black children. We are not right for sending our kids to those schools. We are not. If we can't homeschool them, then we need to find a black school for our children to go to, period. If you're going to live in America, at least. But let me know what y'all think about what's happening here with this child and you know, what the mom had to go through with this. The aunt had to literally go to TikTok for this stuff to even get out. And shout out to the aunt for, you know, bringing this publicly, because the white supremacists don't like to be exposed publicly. And I told you that. They want to do their dirt in silence. So we always got to be loud exposing the dirt they're doing to our children.